justice system. The people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Ketchup Court. I go by the name of Heinz, your friendly neighborhood Ketchup man, and this is Source and Order. We're now on our second season of Source and Order, going through these important cases. Last season was Monica Cement City trial, where we went through all of the analysis of the 38-day trial. Now we are on the Letecia Stauch trial, where we are currently on day three to four. And listen, this case, I didn't know what to expect. Day two on its own was really gruesome, but what I have got to see and unload and see unfold as I'm watching through this trial is diabolical. Is not even a word that would describe it. I'm completely perplexed as we are because I'm currently now on day 3 and 4, which this particular episode is about. So all through last week, right? Last week we covered day 2 of the Letecia Stauch trial, where Al Stauch, who is Gannon's father, who is the victim in this case, he was giving testimony about just laying groundwork for who Letecia Stauch is as a person. The day he got to find out how Gannon went missing, and Letecia Stauch had given him 4 different versions of how this happened, which enabled him to ask the question out of nowhere, hey, did you kill Gannon? And to that, Letecia Stauch had no real response to it. She just basically talked around in circles. We done an whole episode on that. You can go watch that back. It is in the podcast section of Source and Order, on the channel. But on this episode, the next day of the trial, Al Stauch basically increased the temperature a little bit and asked a lot more pressing questions to Letecia on day 3, where we got to hear a lot more about what happened on that Valentine's Day with the calls between Letecia Stauch and Al Stauch about what happened with Gannon. And we got to and we shall be going through that all through this episode. But before we get into the and this is the thing, right? Al Stauch has been giving testimony about all of this, and the most peculiar thing that stuck out to me in his calls between Letecia was Letecia basically saying to him, I cannot, before I tell you anything, basically, I need to have an immunity deal. That really stuck out to me. I was like, why on earth would anyone want to ask for this? But before we get into that, before we get into that particular testimony, we are going to get into the supporting witnesses. Well, when I say supporting witnesses, I mean, before we get into the MVP of today's show, the most valuable parties, we are going to go into the foundational witnesses that basically shape the case. And the first foundational witness I want to go into is who goes by the name of I forgot his name at this moment, but Gansin, I believe his name was. I'm really bad with names. Let me check back on my report. So Christopher Gastine. He is a police officer. He was one of the responding officers who responded to the call in regards to the disappearance, and was basically speaking with Letecia Stauch on what happened that day. And he gave a pretty important testimony about what Letecia told him when he got to the scene. And I'm gonna go to that testimony. I'm gonna go into that testimony right now. It's not more. It's not so much what Letecia told him that's really important is what Letecia did when he got to the scene, and how Letecia was basically acting when he got to the scene. Let's basically go into that testimony and basically hear out and basically get to hear what he has to say. What he has to say in regards to this particular testimony. This is the testimony from Gastin.
Harley had stayed inside, and then the defendant had come out. Specifically, when the defendant came out, she was holding the keys to the car, and so that's a concern. We can't let her get into the vehicle. Where her vehicle was, I was parked directly next to her vehicle, in between her vehicle and the store. So I radioed to everybody that we would stick with Harley inside, and that I was going to get out and just contact the defendant myself and just let her know what was going on, that we had a warrant for the car and that I couldn't let her in and I need to get the keys. So I had gotten out of my car that time, and as she walked up to me, I'd approached her. Actually, I didn't really approach her. She'd gotten there about the same time, right in between the two cars.
So what's basically happening right here is basically Gastin giving a lay of the land of what basically happened with Letecia Stauch. As you can hear there, he now got onto the scene. Now, what Letecia did next was what was peculiar to me, because I was wondering, why would you do this? Why would you do this with the police officer next to the scene? And what she basically did was basically pick up the keys to the car and throw it into the other parking lot. And I'm still to this very moment scratching my head as to why she thought that this was a particularly good idea to do with the police officer present.
While that approach is happening, can you describe the defendant's demeanor?
She was surprised. So she kind of froze, and I said, "My name is Sergeant Gannon with the Sheriff's Office. We have a search warrant for the vehicle. I can't let you into it. I'm going to need the keys." And basically, it was, like I said, it was a soft approach, just like I'm talking now. She didn't acknowledge me. She didn't say anything. Where she was, she had maneuvered kind of closer to her driver's door, and then just started slowly walking backwards.
Were there any observations that you noticed about her gaze or where she was looking, anything like that?
So the two biggest things I noticed is she was just stuttering, like one word, like key, warrant, like just repeating what I was saying. And then she kept walking further back, and I told her, I said, "Relax, you're not in trouble. I just need the keys to the car. I can't let you into it." She continued to walk back, and then I noticed she started to turn her head behind her, because when that was going on, so there's my vehicle, her vehicle, and I'm here, she's here, so she can't go past me, she can't go left or right. So all she can do is basically turn around, and so I noticed that she was periodically turning around as she continued to walk backwards.
As she walked backwards, what did she do after that?
She turned, ran in a full sprint away from me. She had the keys in her hand. I was like, okay. Got on the radio, and I was like, she's running. Like, I don't know what's going on. And I started running after her. As she was running away from me, she had taken the keys to the car and threw them across the parking lot. It took us a little bit of time to find them, but she had thrown them across the parking lot, and so she threw them one way and then kept running the other way from where she threw the keys.
Ultimately, after running after her, were you able to make contact?
Yes, to the two vehicles that had the lights that we were going to have come in, they rolled in, they got out. One drew his firearm and gave her commands, and she had stopped and got on the ground at that time. And then I didn't know what was going on, so I went up and handcuffed her at that time and detained her until we could find out what was going on and what had happened. And then she was given to two other people that had taken her back to a car.
Okay, but to be clear, at that time, she was not being arrested, correct?
No.
Okay. While you were present on scene with other law enforcement members, where was Harley Hunt?
She was, when that happened, she was walking out of the Michaels pretty like within a minute of that happening, and then me detaining the defendant.
Okay. And with specifically as it relates to the approval of the search warrant for a cellular telephone, was that able to be gathered that day?
Yes. Initially, Harley was reluctant to give the phone. And so one of the detectives, she had it in her hand. One of the detectives just yanked it right out of her hand, so she couldn't manipulate or do anything with it.
Was there any interaction that you observed between the defendant and her daughter, Harley Hunt, while you were present on scene?
Yes. The defendant was fairly hysterical. She was screaming. She was yelling obscenities, things like that. Once she realized that we were also in contact with Harley, she started screaming at Harley, saying, "Don't say anything, telling me what an attorney, don't talk to him," those type of statements. And we were trying to tell her we just need to get the phone.
And that is,
after obtaining the phone from Harley Hunt and
bearings onto where I am.
Securing.
Yeah, so that testimony right there is pretty important for a number of reasons. Because one, why are you running away from these guys that are most likely, because I didn't quite most likely just responding to the disappearance of your own son? She threw away the keys. What did she hope to actually achieve by throwing away these keys and running away? Like, where was she gonna go? How was she going to evade these guys? And why did she think that she needed to run from these guys when all that we heard from the last testimony, right? Everything that we heard from day 2 of our trial analysis from episode 24, everything that we heard was predicated on the fact that it was somebody else when she was speaking with Al Stauch. Everything that we heard was it was somebody else that had tried to grape her on one occasion, and Gannon jumped on top of this person behind him, and basically she was under threat. So why would she run from a man of authority here when he responded onto the scene? That was, so his testimony was pretty key there. But unfortunately, we didn't get the date of whenever that happened. But from the next witness, who goes by the name of Marissa Williams, I could kind of understand that maybe this happened on the 29th of January, because that was when Marissa Williams went on to testify that the defendant on this case, Letecia Stauch, the defendant, had basically came into the station and was more concerned about herself than what her son was, which kind of goes back, and I felt it was important context, because important character context, because it basically gives that impression of Letecia not really being self-absorbed, because we already heard from the testimony by Al Stauch that she always looked up to Kim Kardashian and she always lived above her means. So this particular testimony right here was a bit more evidence of that. Let's listen to it.
Your training experience, specifically as it relates to being around parents of missing children, how would you describe the defendant's demeanor on January 29th of 2020?
My experience with parents of missing children or runaways comes from having worked on patrol during the years of 2014 through 2018. And most parents are primarily concerned with doing something to track down their child, such as contacting friends, going out and searching for their child, or providing any type of evidence that would assist law enforcement in doing the same. But Ms. Stauch, on the other hand, was bothered by the fact that she had to come in and talk with law enforcement, and was more concerned about her well-being than her missing sons.
In terms of being present on scene, and again, based on your training experience as it relates to your role as a detective, but also on patrol, did it appear to you at that time that she was experiencing a severe mental disease, defect, or crisis?
I'm going to object to this testimony.
And that's she went on to testify that she wasn't going through that. She, being Letecia Stauch, was not going through any mental issues in terms of what she observed as gesture, that she wasn't going through split personality, because that is essentially what Letecia Stauch is basically saying happened to her that day when she unfortunately killed Gannon. That's gruesomely, I should say, not unfortunately, gruesomely killed Gannon. That she was going through multiple personalities that basically caused her to basically do the crime, and that's why she's not guilty by the reason of insanity. We're gonna get more testimonies about this, I'm pretty sure, because they are still setting they being the prosecution are still setting the foundation for a lot of these cases. So what Marissa basically has just basically given character context to was, whilst everyone was trying to look for Gannon and trying to establish what basically happened with him, all she was concerned about was herself, which is just, it's just odd to think about, because why would she? It's just odd that we are now hearing the insanity plea, that she did this because of reasons of insanity, and at that moment she wasn't really caring about this child. And I'm guessing, is this why she came up with the multiple personalities? Like, she was trying to argue that in that moment that she was going for another personality. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I can't pretend to know what crazy means. But yeah, that was it. The testimony by Marissa Williams. We also had testimony from Leon Kelly, the medical examiner, who, I'll be very honest, like, his testimony there wasn't really much to capture from, because there was his remains. He only testified that Gannon's remains was so decomposed to a point that there was no real evidence to really present. It was just that the fact that his body has decomposed to a point of smelling, basically, and that was the bulk of his testimony. And then we got to hear from Janine Sanchez, who is and this was on day 4. We got to hear from Janine Sanchez, who was Harley's friend. Harley is Letecia Stauch's daughter, and she got to testify about the drive back when they went to pick up Letecia Stauch from the hospital, I believe. How they got to the hospital, unfortunately, I don't know of yet. I'm still listening out. There might be more testimony that would shed light on that, but I didn't really hear how they got there. Just when they went to pick up Letecia from the hospital, Harley and her, that she was basically behaving strangely. So we're gonna hear testimony about that, how she was behaving strangely, and how she was using Harley's phone.
Yes.
Can I refresh your memory?
Yes.
So do you remember the defendant making a comment about turning off location services?
Yes.
What did the defendant say about that?
Just that she was turning off her location on her phone.
On Harley's phone?
Yes.
And do you remember her saying because she had to?
Yes.
And then what did the defendant do with Harley's phone after that?
After turning off the location?
Yes.
I believe she still had her phone.
Okay. Do you remember telling the detective that she then passed the phone back to Harley?
I do not remember.
Okay.
Sorry.
If I show you the report again, would that refresh?
Yes.
Okay. And I know this has been a long time, so don't worry about it.
And this is the thing, like, is without really much to go off in terms of
Okay.
times.
Yes.
Hold on, without really much to go off in terms of times
So
and
after
everything.
the defendant
I'll
turned off
say I'll
Harley's
speak after this.
cell phone location services, do you remember the defendant passing Harley's phone back to Harley?
Yes.
Can I speak now? Nah, I'm playing. So what was I? What was I gonna say? Damn. Yeah, I don't. Without really much to go off in terms of dates, etc. We don't really have that. So so I'm trying to, but then I'm trying to piece together what may have happened leading up to this particular point. But then again, we are still new into this into the case. It's only day 4 this testimony was happening, but I'm gonna go back in time a little bit to because we are now gonna get into the most valuable parties for this date, where I'm gonna focus on just 2 witnesses, Al Stauch and the neighbor of Letecia Stauch, Nicole Mobley. Or Mobley. I don't know how to pronounce her name properly, but I'm gonna focus on those 2 witnesses for the remainder of this episode, because what they had to testify to was really, in my opinion, it would move the needle in this case going forward, because without knowing much of what was going on, everything that they were providing does give a lot of background into why the claim for the whole split personality and going through a mental defect was completely bogus, and why it was more likely than not that it was actually premeditated murder that basically ended up with the death of Gannon Stauch that day. So without further, let's get into the MVPs for today's show.
This is even more bullshit than the original 17 stories, okay? I mean, no guy fucking jumps in your truck. The car's locked when you're driving, unless you stop and open the doors. Anyway, I'm not gonna pick it apart. It's bullshit.
Things.
Were the blue ribbons, what were those all about? Why were there blue ribbons?
We turned the whole neighborhood blue for Gannon.
Is that his favorite color?
I think it was his favorite color, but he also loved Sonic.
So, like I said, those are the 2 witnesses that I'm going to be focusing on for the remainder of today's show. And the first witness I'm gonna go into is Al Stauch. And remember when I said earlier that Al Stauch was basically speaking with Letecia Stauch on Valentine's Day, on the 14th of February, on 2020, about what possibly happened to his son. Well, and at this point, Letecia was not really wanting to share anything more unless she had immunity. A lot of questions arose in my head because I was wondering, why would you ask immunity from him? You're not really speaking with the police or the investigators. I'm not even sure if investigators can give immunity at this point, considering that they haven't charged anyone. So I was trying to figure out how that would work, but she was adamant asking for immunity. So I'm gonna go. So the part, so there was a part in the audio, and this is day 3. This is day 3 when Al Stauch was back from day 2. So this is the continuation from day 2's testimony. So if you were here on the previous episode, this is a continuation from day 2's testimony, where we are hearing audios being played of that particular conversation between Al and Letecia Stauch. So I always forget to give credit on this channel, but yeah, the channel that I'm using to go through all of these clips is a trial channel. No surprise once again, I was able to save a lot of time in going through every testimony to prepare for this stream. So like, and I know I would have to go through and fast forward if I was watching it from the main feed from Law and Crime. But yeah, her channel is efficient. I will leave the link to the full source on in the description. But yeah, so I love using her channel to compile all of the testimonies. But nonetheless, this is the February 14th phone call that was happening between Gannon. I keep mistaking these two, between Al Stauch and Letecia Stauch, and this is where Letecia Stauch had basically said that she's not acting on unless it's with immunity. So let's listen to that testimony.
Talking junk about her best friend, and she's best friends with your sister, and that's what she said. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but once again, well, yeah, you're right. I fully agree with you. Once again, that's why I've told you forever that I don't get into that crap, because it's just you're getting torn every direction by people's stupidity. Okay. So, anyways, let's not worry about that. About how you know what you know. Okay.
Go ahead. The big thing is, I reached out to that lady. She doesn't write me back. This is how I've been treated. I've been treated like a criminal when I told them exactly that Gannon left with someone.
Which lady? What lady are you talking about? The Amber lady?
No, Bethel, because she's the lead investigator.
That's the blonde lady from Starbucks? The blonde lady from Starbucks?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
The lead investigator.
Okay, all right, I got you. Well, I mean,
Contact with her.
Not since that first day. I mean, that first day where I told you I met with Mark for like, I don't know, 6-7 hours, and then she jumped in for like 20-30 minutes, or whatever, that night, the day I got there, that Tuesday. Since then, and since we met her, and then she asked me a few questions, I really haven't had any interaction with her. So I've been dealing only with Mark. He's been my...
Why did you leave that day and not talk to me on my call?
Leave what day?
When you first talked to them that night and you were going to pick up people from the airport, why did you leave and not talk to me?
I'll give you the straight up honest truth right now, because at that point in the situation, and we're at the same point now, unfortunately, 3 weeks later, at that point, I was not getting the whole truth. Okay, and I'm not going to argue with you about that, because that's absolutely spot on. Okay.
From me, you leave from me, everything's fine, and you just happen to get there, and then you feel like you're not getting the truth.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, because there were some things that I was looking into on my own, which I've basically been doing for 3 weeks now, trying to sort through this on my own, that weren't making sense and weren't adding up. Okay, and just like where we're at now, yesterday, thank you for talking so long and walking me through your timeline. But even yesterday when we were talking, a lot of it wasn't adding up, and it still isn't. Like, there's 3 or 4 different versions of the Mexican guy now. He's Uncle Matt. First he was Mexican or whatever. I don't want to argue.
I said he asked me, he asked did he know Uncle Matt?
Yeah.
I said he wasn't Uncle Matt.
All right, and I'm not arguing about that. I'm just telling you, these are red flags. You know how I am. When I see red flags, you got to convince me that the truth is what it is. Okay, so I'm sitting here last night on my bed, freaking out, because I feel like some of that was the truth, but then some of it still was, a different version of the same story again. So what I really want to get to.
Me that I killed Gannon. That hurt.
It hurt me to ask it, because you're my wife, and first thing I started with today was Happy Valentine's Day. That should tell you how I feel about you, okay? But
I need you to be here with me, support it.
I am. I'm right. I'm right here. I'm right here.
I'm begging you. If they give me immunity, I will help.
Okay, but so here.
I can't get in trouble for it.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm here. I'm trying to I'm not. You have the legal background. Okay, I don't have that knowledge. All I have is my recruiting time and the other stuff I've done. So you need to help me understand what you're trying to get. I don't understand what that means.
Immediately as she was asking that, right, I wanted to know what her job was. So first and foremost, and most importantly, the fact that she just said that she needs immunity before, immediately, not just the immunity part, but immediately I noticed the manipulation before she even dropped the immunity bomb. Because listen, like, he's trying to get information from you, and she is trying to make him feel bad for inquiring about, because that's the basis of the inquiry, where Gannon is. Like, just for inquiring about where Gannon is, she's trying to make him feel horrible. Like, and he had to reassure her that he's calling her on Valentine's Day to find out how she is, like, remind her of how much he cares about her, just so she can continue speaking with him in a February. You know, like, you gotta think, if this is, I wonder how he does every day, because if this is just him trying to find out for his son and he's going through this much manipulation, I wonder how he deals with her every day. I just want to point it out.
Immunity, okay? Do you know what immunity is?
Other than what I've seen on TV shows, I don't know. I need you to help me. That's what I'm trying to, help me to get you to that point. Hello?
Immunity is they're going to grant, I'm a judge, that I would not be charged anything in this. Because I didn't have anything to do with it. In return, that I will testify, and I will give them the information of who has given, and I will testify against them.
Okay. So you're saying, so I'm going to walk back through this so I understand clearly what you're saying. So there's no ambiguity or unknowns here. So you're saying you somehow know where Gannon is, or who has him, or how he got him, or something like that?
Ho. See, that's why you're not going to put words in my mouth.
I'm trying to understand, Tisha. Explain to me, okay? Walk me through it so I understand what you're saying. No, why would I record you? This is me and you. Why would I say Happy Valentine's Day on a recording? That's something personal between us.
It's just you and me on this phone call. And
BS, I can tell.
Absolutely. Okay.
Immunity is where I'm telling you, I told you the truth about Mr. Gannon. There's more details about how that went on. There's more details that I can't discuss that would incriminate myself, because they're going to say, why did you say this? But he has all our information. He was threatening to go to work and get massaged and have these people go there. If I said anything in the meeting with the cops, I was late to the meeting. But I need immunity.
So you...
I get him.
So why? What I don't understand is why, babe. Why is this not something you would tell me from the get-go? I just
Everything. They were going to kill my daughter. They were going to kill me. They knew at everybody. They would do everything.
Yeah, but Tisha, look at what you just said. But Tisha,
What?
I'm trying to understand.
I'm only surprising you. I need immunity, please.
If you were... No, why would I record you? What I'm trying to figure out is why your first thought, your first thought is what they may do to you and Harley, but something was already done to Gannon, and we're not worried about that. That should be the priority.
I'm with him.
It was also Lena. She was there too.
So the guy was there and was threatening you in the moment?
The guy was there with the police.
The guy was still there when the police searched the home?
Yes!
Where was he at? Where was he at when they searched our house?
Tell me anything until I get immunity!
Well, babe, I can't promise you immunity. I can't give that to you. But I mean,
Well, you can ask.
I mean, yes, I can reach out to Mark and let him know that's what you're looking for and that you're willing to work with somebody. And you can also tell, what's her name again? Bethel. You can tell Bethel. Just saying.
You won't like that.
All right, let's go into the case file scene for this, because let's just note that down. She said right here, the guy was still in the house, and I think this is gonna become very important later on when the cops were searching. I think this is gonna become important later on, because I want to know how that makes sense. The guy was still in the house, so how did he leave with Gannon, with the police still searching? When did this all happen? Because it's now February. The police would have been searching when? I need dates and times to really make this make sense, to like connect everything. I really need those dates and times. But without further, let's get back into the into the testimony.
Okay, but you got it.
They're gonna treat me like a criminal. No, I'm not a criminal. I don't kill people.
Okay, I never said you did. You're tired of what?
Against that, I got yesterday from it. Yesterday I got a message.
Well, did you send that to anybody?
What?
Where's the message? Can you send me the message so I can see it? Just if you email it to me or email it or text it to me so I can see it.
Immunity. They're gonna try to incriminate me.
Tisha, Tisha, who is this? Who is the person? Do I know this guy?
Do you understand?
Is he there? Is he there with you? What?
Listen to me. He told us a big reward. Well, I'll get back to you for the reward. I can't.
I can't hear.
So I heard there's a reward coming out. That somebody said that the neighborhood's trying to do a reward.
You like.
All right. So I'm gonna skip right. I'm gonna go to the next part of the crucial testimony that was given, and this was the testimony in which she made a point to note a location in which the alleged perpetrator was when he was at the house. I thought I noted this down because I felt that she was going to change the story again, because we got to hear a lot of stories being changed and being offered back and forth, right? There were multiple versions given from the previous episode, from the first audios that was being played by Al Stauch. So I felt that I had to note this part down, and this was what she said where she went when the police were looking at the house.
Gannon was with him, or I didn't know if Gannon was by somebody. I didn't know at that point.
Okay, but then you figured out. How'd you figure out he wasn't by himself?
I'm not telling anything else until I get immunity.
Well, I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to put all this together. You said you pointed them in a direction, but Where in the storage room were you?
Directions. I said I was just giving all the big areas of the house.
I got you. So you told them storage room?
I walked to the storage room when the guy was in there. I was trying to tell him, hey, check behind boxes and all this stuff.
Okay, so
Yes. I didn't want to make it make it. You know, the idea they were having to put my cop right here.
okay,
All right, let's go into the case file scene, and then she says that she walked into the storage room. That might become important later on as we listen to this audio, because and also as this investigation, as this trial goes on, because I want to know exactly what Gannon's room, the storage room, all these rooms have to play a part in, in this whole trial. She walked into the storage room. All right, let's get back into the testimony.
what happened next? So the cops searched and missed it, or what? Tell me what. I'm trying to figure out what happened now. What you're telling me, okay? What happened after they didn't find him?
I'm not saying anything else. I was just trying to plot this whole thing.
No, I'm trying to get some key breaking information that I can give an anonymous tip, like I told you. Okay, that's what I want to do. That's how.
Never mind. You're not trying to help.
I am trying.
He's not trying to help. No, he's not. He's not trying to help.
I am. So what you said was Gannon. You thought Gannon was hiding. Is that right?
I didn't know if he was hiding Quincy. The guy had the information he was hiding myself. I was scared to keep. If I would have left him a note, they're like, please check out. He's inside. I didn't know if they went out the back door. I didn't know where he was at the time. I know he was there. I thought he was gone. And after I waited for 4 hours, kept walking, checking myself, I realized.
All right, so the next part that I want to go into now is, well, first and foremost, is the conversation here where Al is basically asking Letecia what has to be the most difficult question for any parent to be asking the mother of the child. Well, in this case, the stepmom. You still it's still a parent, so it's going to be difficult to ask if the guy that has supposedly done these heinous things to her, if the guy had killed Gannon in the house, and that's when Letecia flares up against him. Let's watch.
I hear somebody hollering.
Nobody's crying or hollering. Just like the other day when you said that, nobody's here. I'm standing here trying to figure this out and get a name.
Where is everybody else at?
What, like Uncle Jeff? He's getting on a plane and Landon and Aunt Veronica, they hit the road back to Dallas, and I think they're going to take Landon for the weekend because it's a 4-day weekend. So I'm here by myself, like I told you. They're getting Lena after lunch because she had a little lunch program going on. Okay, but that only matters if we can get this ball rolling. You could tell me this name, and then you can reach out to the police for immunity or help or whatever they can offer you. Okay.
Telling anything so I get immunity. They're not tricking me. They took everything I have. These people know where I'm at. They're in a gang. I will not.
What kind of gang are they in?
I don't know.
Oh, Tisha.
My gosh.
Well, what happened that ruined that?
Oh, this is bringing back so much.
That's another part I don't understand.
Intoxicating. I've been in so much intoxicating situation.
Cause what?
The shouting alone is bringing back so much dense
Tisha, so
memories.
this guy, I know you're trying not to tell me his name, but after the police left, remind me. I don't remember. I know Harley and Lena went out to look. Did you go look for Gannon? You knew the guy was in there, or you didn't, or what did you do after the police left? Tisha, did this guy kill Gannon? Did he kill him in the house, or did he kill him or hurt him? What happened? It's my son, and I need to know this. No, Tisha, not you. I'm not you. I trust you. I asked you that yesterday, and I trust what you're saying. I asked you, did this guy hurt Gannon, or did he kill Gannon in the house, or do you know if he killed Gannon or not? Tisha, I've explained to you, I can't give you immunity. I am your husband. I'm not the police or the judge.
I'll be back when you can figure out if they can grant me immunity, because this ain't gonna stop. It's gonna keep going, and he's crazy.
Tisha, there's only one way for this to stop, and that's for me to get the information to them, okay, through an anonymous tip, like I said. But I don't have any information to give them. Did this?
Hey,
I can't even hear what she's saying.
Yeah, and
she's shouting so much that you can't hear it.
Tisha, I'm trying to fight for you here, okay? I made it clear I don't have the power to give you immunity. I have the power to help you.
Call me back whenever you can.
Tisha, they're not gonna listen to me, okay? They're absolutely gonna call me foolish. I am trying to help you. They're gonna look at me like a fool. Tisha, I can't hear you.
All right.
Not helping me, Albert.
I'm trying to.
Someone killed somebody. I don't know if anyone killed anyone.
What do you know? What's the guy's name? I gotta know the guy's name, Tisha. Okay, I'm trying to help you, but you're not freaking letting me help you, okay? All right, shut up.
Okay, so she hung up the phone, and there were questions being asked of our Stauch during the break that I think is going to be important going forward because it goes into the premeditated element of what the state has to prove here.
So in your mind, you were thinking that some was potentially real and some was potentially fake.
Yes, sir.
In your mind, did you think that she was trying to manipulate you in the course of the investigation?
Yes, overruled. Yes, sir.
One of the questions that you asked the defendant very specifically was whether she knows Gannon is safe. Do you remember that question?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever get an answer from her on that question?
No, sir.
You mentioned in the phone call too about you're going to give information to the detectives so they'll quit stalling. Similar to the phone call yesterday, were you actually with law enforcement when this call occurred?
I was.
And they were listening?
Yes, sir.
Was you saying, hoping that they would quit stalling, I guess, was that a tactic to keep her talking?
Absolutely.
So, it's established there. Something that I was wondering last week, when we were going through the first bit of phone call, and that was, I was wondering all through this, were the police actually listening And if so, how did she even get the hunch that they might be listening? But nonetheless, so it's just confirmed that the police were listening, and he was just trying to stall her so that he could get more answers from her. So the next part of the testimony that we're gonna go into is where Al was basically testifying. It was just basically more audios where Letecia was basically giving the location that the guy and her were at with Gannon. Look, it was very hard to follow this testimony. These accounts. It was extremely hard because she was all over the place. But let's listen to the accounts of this guy being at Palmer Lake in Colorado.
Uncle Matt came in at. Oh, she had something to do with it. Because I was freaking out how he would know someone by this name. I told you this.
Okay.
The guy was there when the police came. I didn't know where Gannon was at. I didn't know if he was hid. I didn't know anything. I just know I was terrified to say anything because he had the gun. And I was scared. What if he, Gannon, while I run up there and try to go get help? What if I leave to go get help and he's in here? There was nothing I could do to switch anything. My hands were tied that night. The girls were in the bedroom. My hands were tied to the little board that's on the back. My hands were tied there. Tied completely. Remember those same headphones I had on? I told you I was listening to music? Yeah, I had to do that, and that little bandana that was down there, that's where that came from. I couldn't scream, couldn't get help. Harley and Lena were asleep. It was just terrifying. All I could hear was Gannon screaming.
And the language that she's using, right? She uses a lot of metaphor. Like, you don't know whether she literally means her hands were literally tied with this guy in the place, or she was just in a binding situation, which she couldn't do anything based on what she said. And it's just this style of language I've heard before. Like, and I noticed, I heard it when I was going through the Debbie Heard trial, like how Amber Heard was using not flowery language, but more but really descriptive languages that you would not know, that unless you know her as a person, then you know what she means. But from the observer listening in, it really sounds like someone is in distress, and you may not be able to pass through and know exactly what is real and what is fake unless you are really being critical. But if you are listening passively, it's going to be really, really difficult to follow along, which I think was what her aim was, because she was actually hoping that he was not listening intently.
I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know anything.
Okay, teacher, can I ask you a question? Please?
What?
Why would you need immunity for that when the guy he's the perpetrator, not you? Why would you need immunity for this?
Because I didn't tell him.
Because you did, okay. Okay, I mean.
I don't know how bad he hurt Gannon. I don't know.
How bad?
There's no accident where I heard, and there's nothing like that. Because people keep saying that.
And that's gonna be that, and that's important here, because she's saying that she doesn't know how bad he hurt Gannon, but at the same time, earlier, if we remember what she said earlier, she said that she doesn't even know if Gannon is killed or anything like that. And now it's, I don't know how bad he hurt Gannon. And this same he is likely, we don't know who this he is. Is it Uncle Matt? Is it like a Mexican drug cartel guy based on what was established on the previous episode where we were listening to the two audios? Hard to follow along.
He was in Gannon's room.
Okay. Hold on. All right. So, let me just bear with me here while I sort through this. Okay. So you're at Petco, you pull out, and you're at the stoplight. Dude's laying in the middle of the road. Or are you in the parking lot?
We drove up to look at the night for.
Oh, so the guy was at Palmer Lake laying in the middle of the road.
He followed us. I made a turn. I thought the turn was going to take me back to 25. Instead, it wraps you back around in a circle to come back the same direction he's went up these hills.
Okay. All right. So yeah, let's stop for a second because. All right. Listen, I'm gonna be straight up again because I'm getting frustrated again because this is even more bullshit than the original 17 stories. Okay. I mean, no guy fucking jumps in your truck. The car is locked when you're driving unless you stop and open the doors. Anyway, I'm not gonna pick it apart. It's bullshit. Okay. Yes.
God, this is
Tisha. No, it's not why. I want you to tell me why you panicked. Why?
community, so when he's on trial, you can see this.
Why did you panic when the accident happened? When Gannon did whatever he did, I mean, he made a mistake. Whatever happened, why did you panic?
Panic when?
After Gannon was hurt, after he hurt himself, after he had an accident, after he banged his head or something, why did you panic?
No accident was panicking. What are you talking about?
So, wait, well, you know what? So back to this Palmer, I'm all over the place here.
Yeah, because you're trying to make it out to be me and it's not me.
No, I'm trying to make it out to be where's my son, okay? If you were in Palmer Lake and then Douglas County and whatever, you did all these turns and turned around and this guy was out there laying in the road, he got in a truck, why do they have your GPS in your car? You were in my truck.
My phone.
No, but I thought you told me yesterday you left your phone at Petco because you had to go back to get it.
No, that was Gannon's phone. Gannon's phone was left at Petco.
You told me, yes, Tisha, I'm not stupid now. Okay, listen, you know I'm better than that. You told me yesterday, you said, it almost verbatim, almost quoting you now.
She can't keep up
You
with
said,
all the
I set
stories.
my phone on the counter, okay, because I had these 2 or 3 doggy sweaters or whatever, okay, and then... No, you told me yesterday it was your phone, and then you said it and you forgot it because you kept going and looking at him to make sure he wasn't getting out the truck. Now it's you.
And now she gets.
Tisha, but how is it all true when you've told me 7 different versions of the same thing? It can't all be true. He can't be a Mexican named Uncle Matt, but he wasn't there until he got in the...
See how you keep doing?
No, what I keep doing is not being stupid and letting you get me with bullshit, okay? I need the truth.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Really?
Really.
And this is part of the manipulation, right? That they were alluding to on the direct examination not long ago. This is part of the manipulation because the one thing that that she is actually hoping on is the fact that he would most likely forget what has happened, and and whatever she says now is the truth. So what she says now would be the truth, and if he tries to recall what happens, she would throw a tantrum to try and gaslight him into believing that what he's believing now is not true because time has passed. He likely forgot, so therefore what she says now is the truth because she's the person that has the knowledge. She's the person that has the truth, so therefore she must be believed. It is almost it just hit me right now. It's really sad to think about, right? The fact that we may not have even known that she was responsible for this. Not only if not for the insanity plea, but we may not have known that she was responsible for this because as the medical examiner was not able to at all decipher or was not able to really identify Gannon one way or the other. They know it was his remains because of everything. Well, we haven't got there yet, so I don't really know how they knew it was Gannon in the first place because he didn't even identify that it was Gannon. I'm guessing that they only went off whatever she told them happened that day, and that's how they found him. So had she not said anything, right? As she just kept her mouth shut and not say anything, like, this probably doesn't even happen. This case probably doesn't exist if she, and that's so sad to think about as well, because if she showed a bit of care, if she showed that, you know, that she doesn't panic, really cold, calculated, etc., none of this even exists as a case. I don't know though, because we would never know. Like, you know, it's gone to the it's gone now, and we are now firmly in the future where we know what's happened. But I'm just thinking of the possibility that had she just kept her mouth shut, like, Gannon would probably just be a cold case, really. But again, we're still on day 4 now, so we're on day 4, so we have to wait for the case to unload. But if you are enjoying this stream, right, let me just give a bit of a quick ad, because it really does help us out with the YouTube algorithm. Hit that like button. It really does help us out with the YouTube algorithm, as I said. Also, do not forget to also subscribe for more episodes that we have going on for this, for Source and Order. We are live every week from 4 p.m. Eastern time. We are live every week from 4 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, it is a great time to really follow us as we are starting with this particular case, and we are going through the narrative of the case, of the Letecia Stauch case in the new season of Source and Order. So let's get back into this. So the next part of the testimony is where it got more and more strange, because she finally gave the name of the supposed perpetrator, and the name, and it was a bloodbath. I'll just say it straight. I'll start saw it coming.
Who did this? You didn't do it. Who did it? Who hurt Gannon? Who has Gannon? Who wants the money? Who hurt you? Who is they? And how did he hurt Gannon? These are the questions I need to know. Who is he and who are they?
He first told me his name was, but it's not. It's Quincy Brown.
Quincy Brown. So Quincy Brown is the one who has him. What was he driving when he was following you?
And now she's using tears, etc., to try.
What was he driving when he was following you?
To try and deflect all these questions. You see?
What? A red car.
So basic.
See, I think that's what I was saying. You're on it. The fact that you know his name, or he said Eduardo, but you found out his name was Quincy Brown, driving a red car. What? Wait, listen. Wait. How did he hurt Gannon, and how bad was Gannon hurt?
I didn't rather get to see
Say that again. You said. I can't hear you, Tisha. Try to calm down.
When I came out, Gannon was gone. I just could hear him screaming. I couldn't do anything.
So Gannon was screaming, and you heard him? You heard. Right. No, I said heard. I said you heard, like you heard him screaming. The guy hurt Gannon. So you know the guy hurt him, Quincy Brown. Huh?
Yeah.
Do you know what he hurt him with? Was he hitting him? Was he?
And the thing about this Quincy Brown person is that we got to hear from when they were asking questions to our Stauch later on, which we're not going to go into, but they asked him questions about this Quincy Brown person, and he said that there was mugshots of Quincy Brown. Likely, this is where Letecia probably accessed the mugshots and probably used that to basically tell him that it was Quincy Brown. And he is a convicted sex offender in the Colorado area at the Colorado Springs area at the time. So he was actually a convicted sex offender, which just makes sense where this whole story would have come from. But why would it be Mexican? Listen. No one knows who. Well, people know who Quincy Brown is, but for her to know his name. Right, this is the ridiculous part. How would she get to know his name, know all these things about him, if this was an encounter, a rape encounter? How did he gain access to the house? Was it just something that he just broke in, was a deviant, and then gain access to the house? How did she get to learn all of these things? Because you wouldn't be able to even decipher his face or know all those things without having to, at the very least, know at least a bit of identifying information to at least identify him online and on mugshots.com, basically, which was peculiar for me. But I thought I share that. But nonetheless, our Stauch at this point was losing patience with Letecia and was basically calling her out on her story, on her saying that all the stories that she's telling him right now are not making sense, and she's all over the place. Let's listen.
All right, so now I know you were tied up. You couldn't do anything because you were screaming and you had the bandana in your mouth. You were tied up. Is this after the police left and after Gannon and him were in the storage room, or before that, or what?
It was after the police left late that night. I could hardly.
Okay.
I realized that he was still in the house. Really, laying in the room and told him to shut the door and don't come out.
Okay. All right. So what boxes was he taking out of the storage room, or what? Okay, well, you brought that up, so that's huge. I mean, if he's taking boxes, what was in the boxes? I'm just trying to sort through all this, okay?
The pattern is the same.
Empty boxes, okay. So back up. Gannon and this Quincy Brown guy, they were in the storage room the whole time, and you were trying to point the police to the storage room?
I never told you that. I said when the cops went to the storage room, I was trying to tell them, hey, there's a bunch of boxes piled up here. I even went to the little Christmas closet and was like, yeah, please look through there really good.
But you did say that they were in there and that you tried to direct them somehow to the storage room. You did say that.
Not what I said.
No, you did.
That is not what I said.
No,
okay, maybe I'm paraphrasing. Maybe I'm paraphrasing.
No, you're right. You're right.
In the storage room.
And where the fuck were they?
This is what I was talking about, the whole manipulation, because he was right all through this. He was right. She did mention the storage room. We wrote it down here on the case file scenes right here, where she says where he says that she walked into the storage room. We wrote it down. We heard it earlier on, and now she is basically saying that she never said that, and I was right here because she did say that.
It all is relevant. Where were they at? You said earlier you heard him scream from the storage room. Okay?
Yeah, because
where
she walked
were they
into
at?
it.
There was no screaming when the cops were there. What are you talking about?
You know, honestly, I'm kind of getting fed up because you know what? Yesterday, in the 3 previous versions, okay, it all happened in Gannon's room. Now it all happened in the fucking storage room. Make your mind up. Are you banged your head on Gannon's table. You were raped in Gannon's room. Gannon was beat up. He was high-fiving the guy. He was jumping on him. He was loving him. Uncle Matt, he was a Mexican. It all happened in Gannon's room. Now it happened in the storage room. God damn it, Tisha, make some sense out of this.
That is before the police got there, Albert.
What time did all that happen? What time did that happen?
Oh, his name is Albert.
You asked me
Okay, that's easy to say.
got there.
Tisha, to me, this is all bullshit because none of it makes sense. None of the timeline adds up. Every time you tell it to me, there's more and different details.
Damn. That's how you know she's furious. You can't even hear anything she's saying afterwards.
So, okay. Yeah, fine.
My life on the line.
Go get your fucking immunity. I hope you get it, because I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. I don't want nothing bad to happen to nobody. I want my son back.
I'm trying to help you get him back.
So at what point did you call the police? The guy was with you. He was in the house. He was just letting you call the police? Because you said he was in the truck. Well, you, him, and Gannon were in the truck, come back from wherever the fuck you picked him up on the side of the road, and he just jumped in and said, here's a hamburger, take me home or something, whatever. Okay? Yeah. I'm being a goddamn smartass because this is bullshit. Okay? So you're all in the house and you're just drinking sweet tea, and he's like, I'm holding you at gunpoint, but go ahead and call the police, please. Right? That's your story. That's your story, Tisha. That's your story. Yeah, because initially he was already in the house when you got home with Gannon. That's what you told me initially. I am listening.
Get her.
Okay, so, all right, so assume I believe you now. So Quincy Brown is the one holding Gannon for all the money, and you didn't tell me. So now, all this 3 weeks now, you've known who has my son. You've known he's out to get you or after you or whatever. And you think I'm going to be okay with me just finding this out after I've been crying my heart out for 3 weeks now? You think that's cool? Because you're worried about your immunity?
Because I'm worried about my what?
Immunity. That's all you said all day long after yesterday when you told me 7 different stories. Today it's immunity. And now I find about Quincy Brown in a red car with boxes has my son and he wants money and you never told me about it. It's like we're playing fucking Clingy or something. Or Who's Who. And yes, I'm being a smartass because I'm tired of this shit.
I'm with you. I understand.
I don't want nothing but my family and everything and Gannon to be there. I begged you to help me for days. I can tell you this. I begged you. But you would never have to not be around everybody and call me. Never.
Now it's his fault. It's fault.
It's funny. I'm going to stop you right there because it's funny. You started that statement again with, I just want my family and Gannon. So that's why you keep saying shit like that. Yo, Gannon is part of your family. He's not an and, he's part of it. That's why I don't believe that shit, because you keep saying that. Go ahead.
I am agreeing to testify against this. I am agreeing to even to walk out wherever money can fucking shoot me just to get Gannon.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, listen, I know enough about immunity that you're not going to get immunity if you keep lying about this fucking Quincy guy. There's no fucking Quincy guy. There's no Eduardo. There's no Uncle Matt. There's nobody.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever me all you want to, but there's no fucking Quincy. Yeah.
Call that bluff from day one. And the most important part is right in all this story, like it keeps changing and it keeps changing and it keeps changing. The same thing with the room. And he's right to call her out because I didn't even notice. I didn't even make the connection that he did when I was listening to all of this, because he made that connection that all of this was happening in her room first and foremost, and now it's happening in the storage room, which is something that I never even realized. I thought that she was just telling him that she was going into the storage room and that's when he, well, now I'm remembering, it kind of does make obvious sense. But that's when this guy appeared out of nowhere. But I didn't think that the actual attack was happening in the storage room. But it shows you how much the story has changed. And also, she goes on to give an account much later on about how Gannon fell from a bike and his head was bleeding. Look, listen, so much crazy things has happened through this trial, but I never thought I would hear an account like this throughout this case. Let's listen to what Letecia Stauch was saying on this occasion.
Tisha, babe,
So this is for reference. This is the fifth phone call. We listened to that. That was the third phone call that we just went through. We haven't listened to the that was the. Let me start again. This is the fourth phone call, not the fifth phone call. The fourth phone call that we are listening to. That we are listening. It is a fifth phone call. My bad. I just I skipped over one phone call because it wasn't that important to me anyway. But nonetheless, this is the fifth phone call that we are listening to for reference.
How bad did he get hurt?
How bad it was, he was bleeding.
Where was he bleeding from?
His arms, his knees, his head.
So his head was bleeding? And this, oh God.
He promised me he was going to go back to his house and get some bandages and call 911 because we had accidentally left him all in Petco. I swear to God, Quincy's real.
So what happened, baby?
I just never came to hurt. I was supposed to call 911. I was supposed to be taking him back and I called 911.
So the guy took him to take him to 911?
I swear to God, his name's Quincy. That's the guy was supposed to be meeting again.
The Craigslist guy? And you met him where? Like up in wherever that
Those messages. My actual followers were she goes. I was scared he didn't come back with it.
So keep going. I'm sorry.
I thought if I was like, I'll go back and I'll just go keep searching. And I spent the whole night trying to get to find him.
In my truck?
Sure, I'm sorry for these stories. I just didn't want to explain why you hate me.
Why would I hate you if it wasn't your fault?
Because I couldn't get to him. He was bleeding from his head and knees. It was an accident.
Okay. So start over. This is really hard to hear, okay? But so you left Petco.
You don't talk to me like that. Where you're going to go down this road and chastise me and tell
I'm
me.
I'm not. You're telling me the truth now.
Oh.
Try to call my job.
Okay.
Oh, so Letecia can read patterns, so she can wise up to situations. I thought she was just dumb on purpose. Damn. But I just love that response that he just gave. No, I believe you now. No.
Now, because this, thank you for telling me the truth. This means the world to me, and
You have to be dumb to fall for this. I'm sorry. I'm talking about our position now. I mean, if you are Letecia at this moment, right, and you're listening to this, and you actually believe in when it says, "I believe you now," despite the fact that he's called your BS so many times, if you believe this, you deserve prison. That's what I'm saying. You deserve to be caught at this point.
Where was this at? Like, what exit? You mentioned the exit yesterday. What exit was this at?
It's like 163. I don't know. It's on my phone.
Okay, so if you can reach out to them and then give you your phone, then they could find it, right? Can you think of a landmark? Just like, help me find him, babe. Just help me.
Hey Megan, welcome to the stream. I'm sad that no jury is gonna have to see and hear the evidence. Oh yes. You are referring to the new trial. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this all again, and I will be streaming it when it does happen. I will definitely be watching the second trial. I would imagine it wouldn't be. I mean, the cameras would probably improve from the previous case, but I would imagine there'll be no real difference in evidence. But yeah, like it is sad that case was overturned just based on a pure technicality that could have been easily avoided. So I am really angry with that, because from what I've heard so far, and this is only day 4 that we're in, she deserves everything. She deserved prison time because she is all over the place.
I can go search. I can go right now and search.
That's the only reason I asked for immunity, because I think it was an accident, and I wasn't trying to cover up anything. I was trying to figure out why he took it. If I said something like you saw an Ernest in the house or something, I thought they would start looking for him.
When the guy...
I wanted to try to bike out, and he needed help because the bike was too big. And you want to know why I've been gone? Why my car's been in that direction? I've been driving up and down there all the time until they took my car. Driving to do anything I can find, anything. Driving to find this dude. I even got into the police department and they're like, yeah, because he's wanted. If you know where he's at, let me know. So nobody tried to help me. Because before I would do anything, I made him show me his ID. Because I was making sure. It's something to do with a bike today, that's all.
So, Letecia, hold on. You went to his house? Or where did you meet this guy at? Quincy Brown or whatever? Because if you went to his house, they could have...
Please.
I'm listening. I
need to tell you.
Okay.
He said to me that he would be off that exit. When I turn off that exit, you can look.
Okay.
I turned off the exit left because I thought that was direction, but he thought I was coming from south. From north, so I turned on right and went towards the other direction, and I didn't see anyone with a bike in a store.
Okay. So there was a store?
He said there was a store. I said I didn't see anyone with a bike in the store.
Oh.
So I went the other direction.
I got you.
When I went the other direction, I see him with the bike, and I said, "Hey, there's the guy with the bike," and I made him show me his ID, and legit, we talked. Some kind of biking, and this was a tour bike, and I got a little nervous because I said, why would he have some tour bike and he's trying to sell it? You know, like, I was asking him questions like, did you not ride anymore? Did you get hurt? You know, like these stories I was asking him. Then I realized I didn't have the phone because I had left it at Petco. So then, Gannon was like high-fiving him and talking to him and stuff like that. So I assume, nice guy. And so he was taking Gannon, just helping him get on the bike to ride it. I was holding on to it just so he could see, and he was like, do you think your daddy will like this bike? Then the next thing you know, whenever they both slid, he slid with Gannon in the bike, and Gannon went not necessarily tumbling, but sliding down, and he hit his head, and I ran over there. I was just crying to help because I don't want to have my phone. He was like, I live right up here, I'm going to take him, and we'll go. I'm just still sitting there crying and crying. They got to see me get off the exit. That's why I've been adamant about you finding this dude.
I gotta shout you out Megan for this, because Megan J for this, because she says exactly pure technicality. It was horrible, but justice requires it. At least you understand that, because a lot of people, some people were basically completely angry with the verdicts whatsoever. And I'm glad that you see the part in which you can't get justice if the defendant, is not given a fair trial. And that's more of the point I was alluding to, because a lot of people don't see it like that. They are ready to bury the defendant as long as the defendant goes down for the crime. They don't care how they go down. But I'm happy there are people like you out there, because I'm the same way. It's gotta be by the book. If you wanna get this person done properly, it best be by the book. They best make sure this time around that the jurors serving in this case, that they are all vetted, that they have no connection to anybody whatsoever. But yes, she is a true psychopath. I can hear it. The manipulation that I picked up so far from this case, it's absolutely insane. How manipulative she is.
All right, so so you got off exit 163?
No, it was whatever county line or some shit like that.
Oh, that county line road or whatever we always take. It was on that road?
No, you had to turn off of that road. I went the wrong way to start with, so I turned right. Because I thought it was coming from the direction I was supposed to turn right.
But this was the exit off 25 that you turned the wrong way, or off of County Line Road?
Off of 25. You can get off and go both directions.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to narrow it down so I can go look, but
he realizes it. He realizes
so anything else besides
he realizes it that she is sending him off on a wild goose chase mid-call, and he's losing all hope again, which is just insane, the levels that she has sunk into.
He said he scraped his knees, he scraped his elbows, he busted his head, and he had the burns on his arms.
Well, there was some bad burns, Albert. The burns were just little bubbles from the fire. That had nothing to do with it. Now maybe it could have scraped them open some because he already had them, but Gannon was fine. He was talking to me. He wasn't complaining on any kind of pain. I would have took him straight to the doctor if the burns would have had any kind of pain to him.
Okay.
All right, so the next witness that I want to go into goes by the name of Nicole Mobley. Now, Nicole Mobley is a very important witness for a number of reasons, because she was part of the search team that was looking for Gannon, and also another layer of importance was she actually gathered a lot more information for the detectives to basically use for this case, because of how she was able to get Letecia to continue giving her more and more. How she was able to get Letecia to continue giving her more and more accounts of what basically happened with Gannon, and that's basically how important she was. How did she meet? How did she meet Letecia Stauch? I hear you ask, oh inquisitive viewer. Well, it turned out that it was an advert that she was buying something from Harley, who is Leticia's daughter. I believe she was. They had a Facebook post in regards on one of those Facebook group listings and then she basically replied to the listing and she went round to Leticia's house. It turned out that it was actually Letecia that was answering the call, but she being Nicole Mobley, she was expecting Harley to basically pick up, and she was because of what she came to drop off. So and Letecia basically started talking about her life story and started spending more and more time with her, which she didn't really want. She was just there to give off this particular package. Now I highlight that because to me, when I heard this for the first time, I had the impression that she uses Harley's things a lot when communicating with others. So she was probably using Harley's things to go onto Facebook to do certain things during this period, because we already heard the testimony from Janine Sanchez that she was using Harley's phone. And she basically turned off the location of Harley's phone. So it shows you how free that she was going into her daughter's devices. So with Mobley now, not only was she accessing Mobley's, not only was she using Harley's devices to basically get her to come out, and that's how she met. But also, most importantly, Mobley was part of the search team that was out that day. That was out on the 20. That was out when Gannon was declared as missing around that December period, because that's when the post had gone out saying that Gannon had basically disappeared. And there was a lot of drama, a lot of speculation about what basically happened to Gannon at that time. As you would expect on Facebook, when these things go up, a lot of people will have opinions as to what happened, and that ended up happening here. And she tried to get more information from Letecia Stauch about, Gannon's whereabouts, try to inquire more. And this is when she got blocked by Letecia. We are gonna listen to that testimony right now.
Were you
Let's go to it.
watching that?
Yes, those things I would.
Did you reach out to Ms. Stauch and offer to help or do anything in any way?
That was another thing that kind of set me off. The night that he went missing, I had sent her a message. I cannot remember what I said in it, but I remember it was something trying to get information like where we should be looking, and she blocked me immediately.
What kind of message did you send her? Was it a text? Was it social media? Was it a phone message? How did you try to reach her?
Facebook Messenger.
And prior to that, had you been messaging on Facebook?
For the previous times that we spoke, it was Facebook, yes.
And did you ever talk to her about why she blocked you or anything like that?
Well, she blocked me, so I couldn't. I know my husband sent her a message saying, I don't understand why you blocked my wife. We're just trying to help you. Is there something you have against her? Like, what's going on? But we never got a response.
Did you continue to progress or watch the progress in the investigation to see whether or not Gannon was found, that kind of thing?
I did. I also, any search party that they had, we had like blue ribbon ceremonies, different things that we did. I participated in everything.
Do you recall seeing the defendant, Ms. Stauch, being interviewed on KKTV during this time frame?
I do.
What do you recall from that interview?
As in, like, what do you mean? I don't know how I'm supposed to answer that one.
No, you answer it truthfully. I mean, did that spark anything and want you to be involved in the investigation based on what you saw her say during that interview?
The first thing that stood out to me, I think, with that interview is she didn't face the camera. And then there was a lot of, in my opinion, it sounded like her speaking in past tense when she would mention Gannon. But I also thought it was really weird that a majority of that newscast was her worrying about what people thought about her instead of worrying about where Gannon was.
I'm starting to see a pattern, and this is why I wanted to start here, because the same pattern is coming up again, and it's just it's the same thing that Melissa Williams, who was the police officer, was testifying to about how she was more involved with herself, and now Nicole Mobley, the neighbor, who sees a broadcast, an objective broadcast, independent from her own opinions and feelings, just noticing how she was more involved with what people thought about her. And again, it just goes back, and I'm really like, it's really something that the states chose to magnify the Kim Kardashian and living above our means point that was made by Al Stark, because that was what made me listen intently for these cues of a bit of narcissism, because I think she has it. And I do know the witness list now that I've seen Trial Channel's list. The witness list does include a lot of mental health professionals, and I can't wait to reach that part so that I can hear what they have to say, because they might testify into this whole narcissism aspect and how she is self-absorbed, because for it to be this prevalent, where a lot of people are saying these things about her, says a lot.
And did that trigger your personality as to want to know more or find out more about what had happened to Gannon based on everything you're seeing, not only this interview, but the post on social media and things like that?
Most definitely.
Was there a point in time where you tried to reach out to Ms. Stauch again via some Facebook pages?
I did, yes.
And what kind of Facebook pages did you reach out to? Do you recall?
Do you mean which one of hers, or what? What do you mean?
Well, was there a Facebook page called Support E or Ms. Stauch or something?
Yeah, there were several pages. I don't know if I communicated with her on any of her responses that were happening on those pages. I might have made comments to other people, but I don't remember if I communicated with her on those. I just know that I reached out to her on personal Facebook Messenger.
Is this the same Facebook page that you were blocked on previously, or another Facebook page?
Another one.
Do you recall the name of that?
I think it might have been, it was either Letecia Stauch or T. Stauch.
Okay. Did you get a response?
No, not initially.
Okay, so what's happening right now is that she basically made a fake Facebook profile to reach out to Letecia after being blocked on the original profile, where the husband had reached out to find out why she got blocked. And this is when Letecia started warming up to her. So what it basically happened was that Letecia at this point had basically they had basically messaged back and forth. Letecia Stauch's name on Facebook was probably Barbie Girl or something like that. So anyway, it's Barbie Girl. But anyway, so what had basically happened is that she had basically declared onto this fake Facebook profile that, you know, it's not that she did not hurt her son or want to kill him, and was basically saying, I want to know that that I can trust you on here. So what she was basically doing with the fake Facebook account was using that to basically gain her trust. And Letecia was giving her a similar story that she gave Al Stark in regards to this whole shadow that was following that into this shadowy figure that basically came out of the house. It's the same thing that she told Al Stark back. We covered it back last week in one of the audios, that that basically this person had gone into the house and had tried to rape her, etc. That's the context here. And what Nicole was doing was basically saying, I believe you, I saw the same shadow. And because of that, Letecia kept telling her more and more stories. One of the stories was that she told Letecia had told Mobley in a message that there was a suitcase that this guy had basically took a suitcase of some of the things that belong with some of her things, as well as Gannon things, and she was saying that she was crying, and then he had hit her across the head, which it was quite something to hear at the time, because it just didn't sound believable. It's something that we've never heard before, especially after listening to everything that our Gannon, I keep getting messed up. Albert Stark had basically testified to from day 2 and day 3. There was no mention of a suitcase, and now there is. Let's listen to the testimony.
You mean to say reacted?
Yes.
With my kids and situations, I just did it with my house flooded. What do you mean by that?
So I think in my head, I was thinking maybe a situation happened and she overreacted and something might have happened. So I wanted to kind of play on that and say, look, I'm a mom. I've overreacted in situations. My house had just flooded, so I could have overreacted in that situation. So I was just kind of, I think, trying to play along with it.
You didn't know what was going to come next, I take it?
I had no idea.
So what does she say next?
I am beginning to think that the guy was still in the home when police came. Either way, he popped back up with Gannon, so I'm assuming they were in the storage room. He threatened me, and I put them girls upstairs to protect them.
She says
Yeah.
And you asked her who was the guy.
Yes.
How'd she respond?
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay. He took a suitcase and some of our things and Gannon's things, and I was crying. Then he hit me across the head.
So is this the first you heard of a suitcase?
Very first time, yeah.
And how did you respond to that, and why did you respond the way you did?
This is why the cops are being the way they are. They knew you didn't do it, and that's why they are being so quiet. I knew you were innocent. So I responded in that way because, once again, I'm trying to keep her thinking that I'm on her side so that she'll continue telling me more.
So how does she respond to you saying that?
Someone had to see him leaving with a suitcase and G. I don't know if she, I assume was he, was hurt when he did. I was scared. Someone has to be a witness to having seen this guy. Someone had to, and is scared.
So as you're out there, night of the 27th, searching the fields and the ditches and the whole neighborhood around their residence, anybody carrying a suitcase walking around?
Not at all. I would have questioned that.
Would anybody stop that person, strange man in the neighborhood?
In a heartbeat. Our neighborhood has cameras everywhere, and you can't be a guy selling solar panels walking up to somebody's door without somebody posting, who's this weirdo at my door?
We can zoom in on the next
So
page, please.
right there, immediately we get the idea. We get the impression that if this story was to be true, there would have been some form of record. Like this guy would have been caught already. Like like there's no way. It kind of with the backdrop of what our Stauch's testimony has been and everything that we've heard from his testimony before going on to Nicole Mobley, because he's done now. In fact, the cross-examination from his testimony was so ineffective and so unuseful that I didn't even go through it. It completely blanked my mind. But believe me, there was nothing to glean from the cross-examination, and the redirect was basically the same as the direct examination, just reasserting the facts. But everything that he had basically testified to in terms of the rape and everything that's basically happened, if that happened that way, right? And let's just imagine it. He's running out of his house with Gannon on his back, right? Because we heard the story about how Gannon jumped on his back. Let's just say that he was just running out. Based on Nicole Mobley's testimony, there were cameras around the houses. Like someone would have seen this guy with Gannon. And that never happened. No one else has ever seen this guy. This guy, for all we know, does not even exist. Probably is a figment of maybe our imaginations, and only Letecia knows this guy, and we can't see him, but she can. But he's real. He's real in this entire planet. It's just us that are blinded to the fact that, because we can't see him for whatever reason. But only he's that stealthy. He moves in mysterious ways. Anyways, moving on. So now we're moving on to the next testimony that was given by Nicole Mobley about looking for and the reason about how sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. Anyway, now we're going on to a testimony where Nicole gave about Gannon and what they were doing for him when they were looking for him.
I've been on the news, and I know I can't just all of a sudden say that, but I will help figure this out or something. Who can help? Just give me a little time to think. I will help. Anything to get him found. I'm so sorry to go through that and then be accused. I can't imagine how you feel. I'm here for you.
And then she responds, you were on the news?
Yes.
Were you on the news?
I was, yes.
What were you doing on the news and what were you saying?
I was one of the searches I think that we had at the school. We did a search and maybe it wasn't a search. I think it was like a ribbon thing. We did a bunch of blue ribbons that we put all over the school. And the news had asked me to go up and speak about searching, like locations and things.
Were the blue ribbons, what were those all about? Why were there blue ribbons?
We turned the whole neighborhood blue for Gannon.
Is that his favorite color?
I think it was his favorite color, but he also loved Sonic.
Can you scroll down, please?
Okay, so that was a testimony there in regards to Gannon's love for Sonic. So that's a bit more background that I was able to, extract in regards to Gannon's things that they were using to try and raise up profile or raise the spirits so that everyone can participate in finding Gannon. So Megan J here says Dr. Susan Ignacio, a medical examiner based in Florida, testified in detail regarding the autopsy of the 11-year-old Gannon Stauch during the Letecia Stauch trial. That's the part of testimony I advise caution. I'm guessing what you meant to say there. Watching. So, okay, I can't. This testimony I'll keep an eye out because we just had Ryan Kelly's testimony, and his testimony was quite brief. So if there's another medical examiner coming on, then maybe that was the person that was doing it, because I know that they did travel to Florida, so maybe that was a state that was handling handling the ME from that part, wow, this was probably Colorado, and they could only focus on the. I have no idea. But two medical examiners. Okay, in that case, we are gonna get a bit more detail in regards to Gannon's body. I can't imagine what the jury had to see and hear and read exactly. Same here. The public was only shown certain things due to the graphic nature of the I believe, but because it's after the trial, that info may come up if you're searching about the case. So be careful looking at any photos. I want to see how much is, because Trial Channel told me that this case was why she really went full time with her channel, because she said if she can really look through this case and go through it and come out the other side fine, then she can definitely do it. I'm paraphrasing, but I think she used those words. I'm kind of using the same here because I believe I can stomach most things. I believe I can do that. So if I can stomach this case, then I know I'm definitely built for this. If this case somehow knocks me off my character, then I will recover one way or the other. But hopefully I can think, hopefully I can actually stomach this. And this is the one trial I recommend actually skipping. She's like Lori Validable, completely deranged and actually psychotic. It's kind of crazy that it's hard to engage with. She's evil. I've been hearing this a lot. So I want to see how it unfolds. I really want to see how it unfolds. But I haven't seen the Lori Vallow trial. That is a trial that is on my caseload as well, to cover one day on here. So those two trials I'll be covering. But anyway, let's get back into a testimony by Mobley, who gave testimony about what she was ready to do basically to get her on side, which was all telling Letecia Stauch that she was ready to lie for her, telling Letecia Stauch that she was ready to tell the police whatever she wanted to tell, whatever she wanted her to tell them, so that she can basically get her on side and share more things to her.
So in response to your WTF comment, she says, no, they were it was someone you were cheating with, dumb stuff. I'm telling you, when this is said and done, I will have a heck of a lawsuit from them. Do you recall her saying that?
I do, yes.
What does she continue on to say?
I've already been asked by some attorneys if my innocence prevails, then to be the first to see them. I even took a lie detector test. I wouldn't ask if I didn't need the help. I am trusting that you don't say anything about our convo. I am innocent. He is my son.
What did you think about when she says, I hope that you wouldn't say anything about our conversation or convo?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Well, what was going through your mind when she says, I am trusting that you don't say anything about our convo?
That she's probably getting ready to open up and say more.
Did you get the impression that she was going to be asking you to do something at this point?
I did, yes.
What was that?
Lie for her.
So you respond. How?
I did meet a guy that night that freaked me out so bad I had to leave with strangers to get away from him. I wish I knew how to show you what he looked like, but I don't have pictures.
Tell us about that. Did you meet some guy out there while you're searching?
I did.
What was that all about? Tell the jury.
All that was about is I was out there with my husband, but my husband ended up in a different area than I was, and some guy came up that I think he was using a drone, started hitting on me. and I felt really uncomfortable. So luckily a truck with some ladies in it that were out searching showed up, and they let me get in the truck with them, and they took me to another part to get away from him.
This guy have a big green suitcase that he was rolling around?
He did not. Or a little boy next to him.
Is this what you're talking about? Are you trying to lure her in by giving her some truth?
So I kind of had a feeling what she was getting ready to ask me, or get more in detail of asking me. So I was trying to give her kind of that, oh, well, I did see somebody that made me uncomfortable.
So she says it may have been him, but he left with a suitcase and G was walking and took his cover.
Yes.
Did you ever ask her, what are you talking about? What is G leaving with a man and taking a cover?
I don't remember if I asked. I know that. I think I just played into everything. I don't think I asked anything specific at very many points.
Do you know who she was referring to when she said G?
Yes.
Is that Gannon?
Yes.
Scroll down, please. How do you respond to that?
I will never repeat this conversation. I promise you, I believe you. Sorry.
Have a minute.
You all right? Yeah.
It's just that.
There's some, let me get you some tissues.
Oh, there's some.
I can see how down this is.
Sure. Did you say this was hours later, and I told my husband this guy that creeped me out, what if he had something to do with it? Then hours later came out to help search, just to be close to the house to see what was happening. And I told him this that night before I knew any of this.
Yes.
You saying that?
I do, yes.
You actually think that?
No.
Why'd you tell her this?
Again, just to keep her going. Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
We can go down to the next one, please. Now, did she actually send you a picture during this conversation?
Yes.
And what is that picture of? Do you recall?
Gannon's bed and his blanket.
Is that why you're getting emotional, because you saw this picture coming up?
Yes.
And I apologize for that.
It's okay.
What did she talk to you about when she sent you this picture?
She said, this is the cover he left with. This is online now because it showed G back at the house with me timestamped. What if you just said you remembered something suspicious after seeing this picture and explained the description and you didn't think was relevant until now because the kid had the same cover? I swear to you, I didn't do this. I just need help with someone getting this out there so they can start posting in other states.
Okay, so that was a testimony right there. Like, and to be quite fair, like, and to be quite fair, it is getting to a point that the case is. It seems like it's getting to the point that it's going to sink a lot deeper now, and this is going to be the last testimony that we're going to go through, because what she started giving a description of. That was given to her by Letecia, and she had the impression that she was going to ask her to do something for it and offer money in exchange for her testimony, in which I can see how it's getting emotional at these points, because I can imagine having to kind of relive this moment. And then you are thinking and saying, oh wow, she actually did this, and this kid did not deserve any part of this, and she actually did this. It can be really hard to like imagine. I would say, but let's listen to the particular testimony in regards to how Nicole got to learn that Letecia was going to offer her money to basically say what she was going to say in her defense.
So now I need to think really hard about this because I saw a lot of people out, and now I'm wondering if I could have seen anything. It was freezing cold and we were exhausted, but there were so many people out there.
How did she respond to that?
Yes, he's Hispanic, shorter, 5'7" or 5'8", about 175 pounds. He has like either a tattoo or something on his face, maybe teardrop or something like that, but a marking. He had on a jacket. I don't remember the color, but Gannon left with him in that cover, so that stuck out to you when you seen it online. Just recently. Yes, he stayed in the house while they were there, but I didn't know until later. But he took suitcase with them. Beware, I saw him laid it up before he hit me in the head, because I'm sure he loaded the suitcase in the car and put Gannon in somehow.
And how did you respond to that?
I wish I could remember that night better, like a car in front of your house or close, because I parked on your street a few houses down to get out and search the field.
And then when she says, at this point, I just need the main info out there. Again, I only ask because it's our child. They're looking in all the wrong places. Driving me crazy. All her saying that?
I do, yes.
Is she leading up to something? I know we're going to get to this question she's going to ask you down the road, but at the time that you see this text come across, are you anticipating her asking you to do something?
Yes.
Go to the next page, please. She says, most people want to always help, but I know this is tricky. I mean, if it's money or whatever, name it. I want them searching the right way.
Yes.
What'd you take from that?
That she's getting ready to ask me to do something and offer money for it.
And how did you respond to that?
I want to help, anything to find Gannon. My daughter knows him, and this is destroying her. And I feel broken now that I've been searching and doing what I can. And I met Lena, and that made me break down. So I am about to meet with my dad to help him put together a chair. He just got a new house. He is nosy when I'm on my way on my phone, so I only want to message when he isn't next to me. So if I'm slow to reply, that's why. I don't want anyone knowing I'm talking to you, because then people get nosy. And like I said, anything we talk about is between us.
Okay. You go on to say, I'm not even telling my husband, right?
Correct, yes.
And you can scroll down, please.
And that is pretty much the most that I got out of the testimony. And in all fairness, like you know, it's like I can see how tough this case has been for a lot of people involved, like for the witnesses involved so far, especially Al Stauch. He broke down, and well, when I say even he, of course he was gonna break down at one point. He's a victim's father, but he was pretty much composed up until this point, and he seems extremely stoic. And the part that broke him down was I can't if memory serves, it was when he asked a question in regards to Gannon's how much Gannon is a mama's boy. I believe that was the part that broke him. So even a neighbor here, like who has probably no link to any of these families, just her being involved in the search, breaking down. So like it's a very sad case, because you gotta think, I'm still trying to piece together what this boy could have done to the mom to have basically basically got her to this point in which she felt that she had to basically do this, that she had to kill the guy. Like, what could have triggered it is what is the moment is what I'm trying to figure out in this coverage of this case, as well as the trial logic, as well as the analysis, as well as the verdict logic as well, and trying to figure out the insanity plea. But most importantly, what I'm trying to figure out is something that maybe some cases cannot offer, and that is I really am trying to figure out what could have been the tipping point in all of this. Megan J says that's why her current mental status matters. She tried to claim she was insane and incompetent to stand trial many times, and was finally deemed mentally fit enough to go to trial. She's gonna try and do the same thing for her retrial. Oh, okay. So she really doesn't. She does know right from wrong, but she's just one of those difficult witnesses. Then, like, kind of like a Sarah Boone kind of character, if I can compare her to Sarah Boone. Her best bet is to be deemed unfit to stand trial and have a summary judgment made against her and try to serve a sentence in a mental hospital instead of prison. I don't think she will get that. If her claim was multiple personalities, I can't see her winning that. But nonetheless, I just want to say I appreciate every one of you for tuning in. If you're watching this back on replay, hopefully that you have found some value from today's episode. We are going to continue on from next week, where I'm going to be going to day 5 to day 7. I believe I should be doing the live recap of and the live analysis of day 5 to day 7. Hopefully, I like the rule that we have on Source and Order. Like, I go into cases blind. I don't know what any of these cases have to unfold. So it's like, this is me getting to see it for the first time. The first few days has been somewhat hilarious to hear Letecia's wild stories, trying to send everyone on a wild goose chase. But it is getting to a point that it's just untenable now, in my opinion. Like, it's senseless for that this is happening this way. But I just want to say, make sure that you head over to the Ketchup Core website, where you can catch up on the trials that we have in store. You can go and check out the Letecia Stauch trial that we have, where I'll be posting the summaries every time that we finish, so that you can be caught up and know when to jump in and out. Also, so that you know exactly when to enter the case and be caught up with the case. And also great for replay as well, if you're able to catch up. Also, make sure you sign up for the mailing list. This is where you get the trial reports sent. I'll be making the trial reports for this particular case once I have a moment to update the website. I haven't updated it in such a long time because I've had so many things to try and clear up in the background, but I should be updating it this week. So you can get your trial reports on there as well. Also, if you want the PDFs where you can navigate and make it easier for you to catch up, get the URL, links, etc. This is the place for you. Also, click on the Contact Us page and let me know of the cases that you might want me to cover, and I'll add it to the docket. Whatever case it might be, let us know, and then I will be I'll be very happy to take a look at it. But yeah, thank you every single one of you for tuning in. This is a crazy case with a crazy killer. Yeah, I appreciate you, Megan J. Thank you so much for your amazing comments, and to everyone that was lurking. I hope that you guys have had some value from this show. I will be back next week to go through this entire case, and yeah, I can't wait to see you guys again. Hopefully, you guys have a great week ahead. Yeah, like it's a new week. Let's conquer it. Let's go into it hopeful, joyful. Hopefully Letecia doesn't get out of prison anytime soon. She can basically stay in there, because from what I'm hearing, and I really get like this, I wanna see. I'm really trying to keep an open mind, but I already have it made up because of the inconsistencies that I've heard so far. Like, it's not matching with what she claims to be crazy, but nonetheless, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Hopefully you guys have a great week, and hopefully we'll be back. Not hopefully, we will be back. We will be back next week to continue on with our trial coverage, with our trial live recap of this particular case. Yeah, so without further, I'll leave it there. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take good care of yourself. Bye for now. Thank you everyone for tuning in for another Ketchup Court live stream. Make sure that you smash that like button as well as hitting that subscribe button to be notified of our future live streams. We go live regularly, bringing you case updates and recaps of ongoing trials, so make sure you hurry back on the next live stream. We also have more content on the channel that you can binge on. Check out the playlist that we have showcasing all of these contents. Without further, I go by the name of Heinz, your friendly neighborhood ketchup man, and I'll see you back in court.